All right, guys, so what we're going to do today is look at part 2 of 5.5a, which is CAD model features, and this is called the whole part, H-O-L-E. Skills that we're going to be looking at is using a circle, a point, a circular pattern, and then, of course, looking at the whole tools. So, this drawing right here is what we're going to go off of first. It looks very confusing right now, but I'll walk you through it. So we're always going to start with a 2D sketch, and this time we're going to start on the XZ plane because we're going to go on top of it. So on the XZ plane, it says to draw a circle, and that circle's diameter is 4 inches. So I'm going to find the origin, draw a circle, and then I'm going to set the dimension to 4.0. Whoops. Set the dimension.
Selena Blackburn to the main office. Selena Blackburn to the main office.
To 4.0 and hit enter. And that's all I want to do on that sketch. So to finish the sketch, now I'm going to extrude it. And right here is the thickness of the part. That's 1.5 inches. So I'm going to type 1.5 and hit the green check mark. And then there's the basis for my circle. After that, I want to start a new sketch because I have to put in a pattern and points for my holes. So I'm going to start a new sketch on the top face. I want to circle again. And I'm going to draw this circle a little offset so I can show you the concentric parameter. So I click on the inside circle, click on the outside circle, and then those are concentric. Now I need to dimension it. Dimension here, the diameter is 2.5 inches. So I type 2.5 and hit enter. Then I need to get a point because I'm going to pattern this point. Again, I've got a point. I'm not putting it on the line on purpose so I can show you the coincident constraint. So coincident can make a point go to another piece of geometry. So I grab my point. I want to put it on my circle. Now it's on my circle. Next step is to use the circular pattern because I want all the points equidistant around the circle. So I click on the point, and then I click on the arrow up here, and I click on the circle. All right, now notice the default is 6. I get these 6 yellow points all the way around. I'm going to change that to 5. And I want it all the way around, so 360 degrees is fine. Then I'm going to hit OK. So I got my points. I'm now finished with that sketch. Now I'm going to rotate my view cube a little bit so I can see my points a little bit better. Notice when I roll over them with the mouse, they show up in red. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make a hole. All of these things are hole notations, but if I go down, it gives me the whole menus. So we're going to try to make our whole menus look like the whole menus on our document. So the first thing I do is I'm going to select, cancel. I'm going to select a point, and then this little thing right here, I'm going to create a hole. Okay. This first one says 0.25, and I want it to be through all, and I just want a regular hole without anything special on it. So I got that. It looks similar. So I'm going to hit OK, and there's a hole. Now you'll notice that the rest of my sketch stuff disappeared. That's okay. If I go over here to my browser, it says hole, and I hit the plus sign, I get a sketch. Right click, share sketch, and now my holes reappear. So I'm going to go clockwise now and follow and put the next holes in here. So I go to my next point, left click on it, select the hole, and now I'm going to do a counter bore. Okay, the symbol for counter bore is the second one down. And notice how it gives you some more menu options. So now I'm going to type 0.75. The next one, that's going to be the head thickness. I'm going to type 0.25. And for the last one, the diameter of the bore, 0.375. Again, this looks similar to this, so I'm going to hit OK. Now I have a counter bore. All right, I'm going to keep moving around the circle. Go to my Create a Hole feature. Scroll down. This time I want a countersink. Countersink is all the way at the bottom. So I go down here for a countersink. 0.75, 82 degrees, 0.375, open hole all the way through. So I hit OK. All right, next one. This one's a little bit different. It's called a tapped hole. Basically, it means that this hole already has threads in it. So I'm going to go to my next point, click on the hole, and now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. So I'll select the first one. Notice that's a drilled hole. Then down here, this starts to change. I have an option of simple hole, clearance hole, or a tapped hole. So I want a tapped hole. And this brings up a whole new menu for me. So this is thread types, and all these are standardized within an industry. So I'm going to make my hole look like this. Size, I'm going to change to 0.25. And notice how it automatically does 1/4-20 UNC. Class 1B, right hand, full depth. Everything looks good and the same, so I'll hit OK. All right, now my last point is a little bit tough to see because it's behind this 360, but if I zoom in on it, I can see it a little bit more clearly when I roll over my mouse. So there's my last hole, and I'll scroll down for what to put on my last hole. This is going to be a clearance hole. So instead of a tapped hole, I'll go to the second one, which is a clearance hole. Notice how the picture changes up here. I want this to be 0.531 inches. Through all, that's okay. ANSI unified screw heads, hex head bolt, size 1/2 inch, fit normal. All of that looks great. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to zoom out. Now I have 5 holes, so that's fine. I will save it. Make sure you guys are saving it in your user drive. And again, I don't like gray, so I'm going to change the color. Let's go with light red. That sounds pretty good. And so I'll save that again. And make sure that you are taking snips of your final products.